Lydia, let's just talk a little bit, looking forward to this week, what you're most excited about being at Liberty National, seeing Michelle around as a tournament host.
Yeah, I played this event last year, and obviously that was an inaugural event, and I really enjoyed it. I got to play all 4 days, and especially on the weekend, playing with the AJGA, players, and I think I was out there with them, as I mentioned. They're playing better than me, but it's such a fun event. We get to stay in New York. Not often you say you ferry over to the golf course, and we're at a championship golf course here. So, yeah, it's been a fun week so far. I really enjoyed it last year, and especially now that Michelle's officially retired, it's great to be able to have these opportunities to run into her, and it's awesome to see how she's giving back to the game of golf and really bringing generations together.
And Michelle talked a little bit about yesterday, but the importance of having juniors in the field and getting them the experience to play with professionals. Is that the same way you feel about it? And how excited are you to see some of these juniors?
Yeah, I totally agree. I think when I was in amateur, playing a couple of these LPGA events as sponsor invites or being able to qualify in, it was such a cool experience just to be inside the ropes with them, not only in the tournament rounds, but also in the practice rounds, because I feel like it's a little bit more relaxed and you can kind of pick their brains on, a few things that you're curious about. And I think when you do make that transition to turning pro, whether it's after collegiate golf or beforehand, to know a few of the faces and not feel like you're completely in the dark is also such a little bit more comforting. And I've been lucky enough to play in, I think, a few generations within my years on tour, and to be able to see the next generations, and I'm sure a few of them, they may turn pro early, and we may be on tour at the same time. So it's just a really cool environment here, and I think we can all kind of learn from each other. And I played with an AJGA player, Lydia Ko, these past couple of days, and she was great, and she played so good, and especially because I know her father Ted as well. So yeah, it's a lot of fun, and I think it's just great to have these kind of events where it's a little bit different to our normal week in, week out.
Yeah. I'll open it up for questions now. Tom, do you have any?
Sure. I don't know. Oh, it is working. Mm-hmm. Do you, when Nellie was just in here, she said she wasn't even thinking about the streak. She's just focusing on her game. With you, do you think about the Hall of Fame, or is that when it comes, it comes?
Honestly, I think I thought about it a little bit more last year. I said in other interviews, being in the Hall of Fame was never really a goal of mine, because I thought it was so far out there that I probably was never going to be the group that's in the Hall of Fame. So after having a great year in 22, obviously that opportunity came real quick, and something that had never really been in my mind became very apparent. And I think last year, my goal was, okay, I just want to get in the Hall of Fame. And, because you're only 2 points away, but at the same time, it's easier said than done. I've had streaks where I haven't won for 3 years or more. And, Nellie may make it look easy when she's winning 5 times in a row, but I'm sure internally it's not easy. And that's why it's so impressive how consistently she's been playing. But now I think, especially winning the first tournament this year at my home club at Lake Nona, it's, I think, a little bit less pressure. And I feel like if I keep working on the right things and progressing, then the opportunities are going to come. And sometimes I'm going to be able to follow through with it, and sometimes I'm not. But that's just the nature of it. And I'm playing alongside the best female golfers every week, and to contend at a high level week in, week out, it's very difficult. So I'm just gonna, keep working on the things with my coach and my team, and I feel like if it's meant to happen, it's gonna happen. But I'm not trying to set my end goal as to just be in the Hall of Fame. And as long as I'm competitively playing, I want to win as many times as I can, and kind of surpass that, and not only just look at, okay, I'm just 1 point away.
The other question I have is, this course with the rain, How do you play it? I mean, is there certain things you need to do?
I've never played the course in the rain, so today is going to be a great opportunity for that. Now, last year, I remember the course being very firm and fast. I think we played a couple weeks later, more towards the end of May last year. So, like, maybe that's what is making the course play a little bit differently. The good thing is we've had some crazy weather conditions this year, from 45-mile-an-hour winds, not even gusts, to rain. And I was joking that we haven't really had a perfect 75-degree, 5-mile-an-hour wind kind of day. So I think because we played in all sorts of different and difficult conditions, I'm just out there. I'm like, oh, it's just raining today. Not making it a big deal about it. And everybody's playing in the same conditions. And in some ways, I'm sure the holes are going to play a little bit easier where you could normally run out. And in some ways, it's just going to be a little bit more difficult. So I'm just going to play with what I get. And I'm playing the Pro-Am in an hour or so. So it would be a good opportunity to get my last look at the golf course before tomorrow.
All right, Beth Ann, did you have any questions on the Zoom?
Yes. Hi, Lydia.
I was like, that's freaky. I can't see her in the room. Yeah. I was like, what? Yeah.
Round.
I'm looking in from afar.
Oh, yeah, I was like, whoa.
You just were talking about, kind of keeping your head down and working on what you're working on, doing the right things. When was the last time you saw Siwoo, and what are you working on?
Yeah, it was probably the week before the last time I saw you, which was, I think, the week before Chevron. So that was the last time he's been over. We've had a couple FaceTime sessions, and I'll always send him swings every day I'm out practicing. Honestly, the same things. And sometimes, when things aren't going your way, you feel like there may be new solutions to these problems. But most of the time, it's really the same kind of tendencies. But he's coming over for the U.S. Women's Open, so it'll be definitely nice to see him in person. And, it's, always great to be able to do stuff, I think, face-to-face than rather, even though it's great that we have the option to do it through, video calls. But yeah, I think we're working on the same things, trying to hit the fairways, trying to make it into the hole in the least amount of strokes.
And then you mentioned the U.S. Women's Open. The crowds at Lancaster were really, really good in 2015, and it sounds like they're going to be similar this year. From just a player's perspective, how much fun is it when there's a gallery like that, and how important do you think fan presence is in the health of the tour?
Yeah, I honestly can't remember a lot about that week when I was there, but I was having dinner with Ingy, who's the champion who won there at Lancaster the last time we were there, and I heard that it was some of the highest TV ratings as well that week. So yeah, I'm excited to see them. We don't really get the opportunity to play in that kind of Pennsylvania area very often. So I hope the local people and the people in the area are going to be excited to see us. I think when I was younger, I honestly didn't love playing in front of the crowds. I don't think it's something that you were ever used to or felt comfortable. But during COVID, when we had these span of events where there was no spectators or only my mom or another player's parent or family, they're just clapping, I think that's when I got to really appreciate how different it is. And the people that are out there are really there to support us and, watch us play some good golf. So I think that was kind of the turning point for me, where I was like, it's so awesome to, have these people come out and watch us play. And sometimes people with the New Zealand flag will come out and watch, or have T-shirts with my name or my face on it. My face on it, it's a little bit weird, but it's just, those are the kind of things that you don't you kind of take for granted until it's taken away from you. And now I'm excited that it seems like there's going to be a great turnout in Lancaster. And I was joking that now I've played on tour long enough that I'm playing all of these majors again at courses that I did when I was in my teens. So I'm excited to go back there, and especially with like what Ingy has done with her foundation there. I think they've really cherished and loved having us there and the Women's Open there. So it's great to go back to a location like that as well.
And then just finally, what will you do next week in the lead up?
I'm going to Florida just in time for the afternoon thunderstorms. So go back and take a couple days off, practice, and then and then go to Lancaster on the weekend and start working with my coach. And he has a few players there that's playing the week of the U.S. Women's Open, so it'll be a bunch of us. So it'll be nice to just like play and practice with other pros, and just have a good week. And I think we all know that U.S. Women's Open week, even though it's the same 7 days, it just feels a little bit longer. So making sure that I'm getting plenty of rest and recovery in between.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Lydia. Appreciate it.